Mm, be a champion. You could be a champion. Mm, my test. Three, two, one. And we are live. Welcome back, guys. Another backtesting session. Day 53. Backtesting every day until I'm profitable. And it's nice to have you here. So I'll be backtesting this session right here. But I'm going to create another one called, PO3. PO3, that's the one I want to backtest. I'll be using Euro USD, GBP USD, and the NAS and the USD card, sorry. NAS and USD card, so 100. Then it's a power of 3. Okay, now I just want the NAS. Um, hmm, sorry. Then Euro USD. Then I'll need GBP USD and USD card as well. Okay, and I think I'll be backtesting from 2021, data from 2021 to like 2023-ish, 1st June, just this power of 3. And basically the kind of setups I'll be looking for in this session, which I think we're going to be dealing with for this coming for this coming time, is I just want two PO3s, the daily, the weekly, and that's basically it. Most likely I would like to find my entries every day. So the weekly is the same thing as the daily. Just want to see some open manipulation, push to the upside, and then the close like this, like on the weekly. And then when we go, which means like this, there will be days like this on Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, then Friday. And then I would like to see this exact pattern print itself in the daily time frame, since price is fractal. So without delaying in the words, let's just get into action. So it's a new time frame. Sorry, not new time frame. It's a new time relation, and a new asset. Well, it's the NAS, but I think, well, PO3 can well work as well on the NAS. What I want to see here is, first off, we're on the weekly. What day are we at? 1 hour. We're on Tuesday. Good, which means the week has just started. So this was Monday. This is how the week started. You can see it pushed higher, then dropped a bit. It's currently in negatives, if I can, the downside, yeah. So first off, we can see that we're in this kind of fair value gap, and you can see how these candles are closing nicely within the gap. These candles, I think this would look clean like this. You can see like how the wicks were closing and the candles, which means we might have a chance to to push higher. And considering that there's also an inversion here and a good clean break of structure, we might anticipate to continue to push higher. So this will be our next level of buy side liquidity. So simply, without going far, we can mark this level and this one, but I think this one would come first. So basically what the weekly did was to show us our bias, not bias, would show us like some levels of liquidity, which means that we have buy side resting there. And then when I go to the daily time frame, I'll also see that we also have another high there, which means liquidity is still too much. It's liquidity on this order block. Let me also mark this as well. We have many levels of buy side liquidity, and since we would like the week to expand higher, it would be normal for Tuesday, to expand lower. I mean to push lower, and then for Wednesday and Thursday to push higher, as the weekly PO3 suggests. And I'll go down to the 4 hour time frame. Sorry, 4 hour time frame. I want now to see keep some POIs I would like to mark for reversals, such as this clean order block. but after this sweep, we might see some shifts. Well, it might depend. So first off, we have this good order block resting here and a level of sell side, which means if we get past this one, we can target here and so on. So first off, I'd mark this level right here. And then I would like to go on a lower time frame as well. 1 hour now. So 1 hour, you can see it consolidated. First off, I also want to see how the sessions are looking. It's currently 13, which means that yeah, go now to 30 minutes. Yeah, there's something. If you really want to drop, you can see how this New York behaved, took out this high, which means the next day might possibly continue to the downside. But as you can see, this is a really good PO3. Accumulate here, push high, take out some sellers who try to sell here, and then New York accumulates the drops to the downside, and with this influence of news, as you can see right here. Good, so I think we can just go to the next daily open so we can see what we are up to. So first off, we have the previous daily low here, previous daily high, we have the Asian range in here. So let's see, first the Judas swing, go to 5 minutes, good. So you can see we took out this high, we took out the Asian highs. And as London opens, we get a retracement into this gap. What does the 15-minute look like? 15 minutes is showing this as some kind of OB, which means I would like to slow it down and see how it reacts. Okay, looks like I'm getting a rejection here, which means I would like to aim for some sales and target these Asian lows. And the reason we would like to aim for sales is for the Judas swing to expand lower, and then maybe the next day we push. I mean, New York will then push higher. Hmm. That's the analysis that will be backing my and I will be backing my trade. Hmm. I have this small order block right here after this sweep, but we didn't get a shift. I don't see a clear shift here because okay, maybe except if we can consider this low, then we can have a sell trade in here where stop loss will be right above the high and our target will be the Asia low. So let's just take this trade 2%, and if we lose, that's it. If we win, then yeah. We take the screenshot, we save it. Now let's see how the trade plays out. Wow, nice push to take profit. Really nice one. Okay, we're still in London. Gotta remove this. So London has just ended. You can see we have other draws of liquidity as well. This high and the London lows. And as the day progresses on, I would like to show how the 15-minute looks like. And so we also have bigger draws on liquidity like this previous day low, which means it's possible for the market to drop drop and continue until it takes out the previous daily low. And considering that today we have some news, but it's in the PM session, but it's not also high impact, so it's not really that big. And I would like to do some kind of analysis on the higher time frame. So as you can see on the higher time frame, we have some liquidity resting here, and the next POI obviously would be this 30-minute order block, which means it's just pushing, taking out this liquidity, and then continuing, and then drop to the downside. And basically that would be what we want to see in this market. So this order block right here, push into the OB, take out this liquidity, fill this imbalance here, and then drop to take out the previous day low, since our target on the higher time frame is, to fill this imbalance and reach this POI. So back to the 15-minute now. I'd like to see, a confluence that makes me push higher. But so far, the only one we can see is that we have a market shift here. Let's see. Oh, this is really nice. You can see we have a market shift here. After taking out this low, we swept it, then we created a high, then we shifted structure on that high exactly, but we don't have any fair value gap provided so far. But one thing I would like to mark would be this inversion FVG, which means on the 15-minute will be a really small, really small one. Let's see how market reacts. Okay, well, the inversion is this one from here to here. This will be the only place for us to enter, and if it don't get a retracement to it, then we close our charts. It's simple as that. So you can see that we end up hitting the order block on the 30-minute right there as New York opens, and we are at 9. So I'd like to, slow this up a little bit. You can see this big candle 9:30. We reach this is called the midpoint of this order block. Now I would like to go on the lower time frames to see, some confluences to make me push lower if we are going to respect this fair value gap. First off, on the one, let me use the 1 minute here. Don't we push through the fair value gap, which means now we can see that the AMD pattern is about to be respected. False move lower and then expansion to the upside. Really crazy. So 15, you can see the sweep, the shifting structure, and the retracement into the gap. My G, the retracement, this one right here is really clean, and looks like we took out this high. Ooh, and we get a really quick reversal. So we have a really clean sweep there. When I go lower, oh, you can see this fair value gap. These are okay. These fair value gaps that intersect with each other. You can see this right here. This fair value gap are a good sign of reversal, and they were also used in the Venom model as well. So let's see if we get a reason to enter, and if not, I will sit on our hands. So you can see retracement into this order block, this one right here, but I wouldn't enter on this trade still. Why? I did not see a market shift, so I would wait and continue waiting until maybe we get something. So the trade idea gets invalidated so far as by the okay. I think we're about to have something here. Let's wait patiently and see. Okay, this is what we were basically waiting for. Really clean price action on this day. I think even though this trade, even if it were to be a loser, but this would be a clean one. So we have the sweep resting there, and we have a shift inside, internal shift on the 5 minute. Here, it's an MSS. And when I go to 15-minute, I don't think it's a reaction to this auto block. I wouldn't like to think that it's a reaction to this auto block, because if it was a reaction, then the candle would close above, marking like what do they call it? What marking BOS exactly. So now welcome to the 5 minute. I can see that these other blocks are breaking my view to the downside because my entry will then be here. Have a kind of a hard big stop loss. Then I will target to take out the London lows. Where they at? I think they're here. Yeah, London lows somewhere there, giving us a 2.8 or 3. And I target this low. Good. So this will be the trade that I'm aiming for. So you can see that after this huge shift, you can see that we had a really good clean market maker model, and we took out this high. We also took out this internal high, and I would really like to say, the market now start to push to the downside. And I, some people might think that, well, we have another block reaction in the 5 minute, but okay, I don't know if that other block would be strong, considering how these wicks on the 1 hour are rejecting. You can see how these wicks are looking like. I think I could still take this entry over and over. These wicks like have really, really long wicks on the upside, showing me that we might be about to, respect this gap and push lower. So this is my time to enter. Let's save this. Okay, go candle by candle. So we're respecting the gap so far, depending on how the candles are closing, but it looks like some of them want to close higher, which means we will get out of the trade, and we get out. We're almost out. Let's see. Okay, we end up dropping. So far we're up 1.8. So the draw on liquidity will be these London lows, or even the previous day low. Wait, the previous day low was somewhere here, I think, because we're on Wednesday exactly. So let's see how this goes. Well, we would like to take some partials in there. Wow, you can see this drop. It's a clean one. And I would, let's move my stuff to break even. I'd like to see, hit this full take profit, such as the London lows. And boom, we hit the London lows just like that. Really good trade on the day. So it first made us sweat for a bit, but let's see how these candles were closing. You can see how the candles were closing a little bit above, but they still respected the fair value gap. And how does the 15-minute look like? The 15-minute provides an entry somewhere here, as you can see. Remove this. 15-minute provides an entry inside here, from here to here. You can see that that's where the entry is provided on the 15-minute after this clean shift here, retracement. But I can't call this a full retracement because we didn't. So we didn't reach the midpoint of this fair value gap, but this is a really clean retracement. Yeah, the 15-minute pushed into the gap and then dropped, which means the biggest draw on liquidity would be the previous daily, which I think we will also tap into soon. So let's see. Next day opens, I think, and then the previous daily becomes this one. But you can see that the London lows get taken out after this AMD provided right there. And another thing I'd like to mark out is that this order block from the 30-minute has been respected a bit, even though it took out liquidity from it and then dropped. So it simply wanted to fully fill this fair value gap on the 30 minutes. And before we continue, I'd like to remove these. Now I'll go to the 1 hour. Again, what do I want to see on this day before we start? Let me actually move it to the next day open. Exactly right there. Wednesday, Thursday at 1. Good. So what do I want to see? I'll first go to daily. You can see how this day was quite bearish, but wasn't persistent at dropping. It just filled this imbalance in here, and we can see that we have buy side still resting there, and the market is currently in between this buy side and this fair value gap, which we're not filling yet. So if we drop, then we will have this sell side liquidity near us, this zone here. And if we push higher, then target here or even here. Let me make it this low hanging fruit. Good. This, which means these are our targets within these days that we'll be following. And then when I go to the 4 hour, I would like to see some reasons why the market really wants to push to the upside. So first off, you can see, sorry, a bit. So first off, you can see that we took out these lows right here, and then we created a high, which means if we shift above this high, this one here, so if we do something like this and shift above this high, that means that already the market wants to reverse, like when the candles closes above this high right here, which I really want to delete this. Okay, sorry. Mm, okay, great. Now let me change the brush highlighter. Okay, don't need a brush, I need a highlighter. Good. So you want to see, push like this, then we come back down, and then like a retracement into some kind of POI, then we push right there. That would be what I want to see on the day. So I'll remove this. Just want this high here, and yeah, basically I just want to see a shift, then a push. So to see the shift, then we can also trade that move if we get some valid confluences. Sorry. Yep. If we get some valid confluences, we can also trade the move to take out this buy side and even close above it. And if you can also hold, you can hold until that high up there. So first off, internally, if I go to like the 15 or the 30 minute, like we can mark out something. So first off, we have this sweep, have a low taken out from yesterday. There were some relatively equal lows actually. When I got the 30 minute, will show it clearly. Yeah, you can see we took out this low, this one, this one, this one, and you can see we tried to push higher, created a high right here. So if we shift above this high and respect a POI, we can expect to push high. If we shift, if we just sweep, can expect some Judas swing into this fair value gap. So let's not delay in the words. Let's just see what the market does, and then we react accordingly. So we take out Asia lows, and they continue to drop, which means going in the 30-minute time frame, we might be about to rebalance this move from the high to the low. Sorry. Ooh, the low is really quite far, but from the high to the low, then rebalancing will be, this fair value gap right here. Reaching at this zone here will be the target. So back to 5 minute. Let's see if it rebalances. So you can see that we reached the midpoint. And as we approach the midpoint, you can start to see something. Let's see if we see something. Okay, so far there's nothing except from a small high taken out in London. Small high taken out, drop, inversion, retracement to the inversion, and we're going to drop for sure. Trust me on this one, we have to drop. but we don't. And one thing I want us to mark here is as we reach the discount, you can see how market starts to behave. And when I go to the 15-minute, you can see something like a sweep here. So let's see how this candle closes. Okay, candle closes above this high, which means we might be about to get uh, you know, an ICT and model in here. So we have an inversion, which means it can also be a have give us a retracement. And if we don't get one there, I mean, we can find another one some other time. But you can see that we are pushing to the upside. So let's see. Okay, now I'd like to go slow here. Okay, looks like London is doing its manipulation thing. Let's just wait. So London's over here. Okay, 5:55, London's over. And when London's over, you can see that we continue to drop. Wow, wow, this is really nice. That was the 15-minute looking like. So we're about to take out the previous day low, and we take it out, and we also continue down to what? To the level we had marked before on the daily, which means that we had a really bearish structure. Good market maker model right there. New York hasn't started yet, but we can see if New York will provide an opportunity for the day. Wow, wow. There's this clean expansion. There were some news. Nope, not yet. News are at 9:45. This 9:40. There's also some news at 10. There was some news at 8:15 and 8:30. It's crazy. But what I expected from New York was uh, since we had this massive drop to the downside, which means if New York was to go to the upside, then we will have this as our drawn liquidity. But since it's dropping, then we can see a high taken out right there. We can see a shift in structure there. So if we get a possible retracement, then we can sell. So this is what I would think would give us the entry. So I've got the sweep right here. I've got my shift inside here. And I've got this fair value gap, and I think this fair value gap right lies in the OTE zone. You can see that it's in the OTE zone, which means if we reject, we might be prone to some sales. So we have this fair value gap there. And what would be our reason to go lower? I'd like to go back to the 1 hour. So the 1 hour would show us the reason. So we have tapped into the POI by a small tick. Don't really think we will continue dropping, but let us see. Let's remove these drawings of it. So I'd like to see, my trade continue to drop and fill this market maker model we see here. As we have a really push to the upside consolidation, then the drop. So maybe you would like to, to fill this or even take out this low, but we can like at least reach the middle point. So going back to the 5 minute now. You can see how the candles are expanding one after the other. So if I see a rejection, then I would like to take an entry. Okay, you can see that we're rejecting now, which means we can place our entry, a sell. Stop loss will be right there, and my target would be at least the midpoint of the order block, where I would like take partials here or even close the full entry depending on how market is reacting. Let me take the entry, but this, I think this is a low probability because We don't have a clear draw on liquidity, so I'll take like 1% there. Okay, save that. So rejecting, and we get a clean drop even though we reverse. This will be a crazy one. Wow, look at this reversal. Anyways, not a bad trade, not really a bad trade, but you can see it had a really clean drop. I provided like a 1 to 1. Yeah, 1 to 1 was provided. So it was a really nice one, nice trade. Good. And I would like to go to another day because this day is we're done with this day. By the way, I trusted FX Replay to channel my stuff, but I don't think I should do it anymore. I think I should just journal them for myself instead. Okay, let's go back home. Sorry, power of 3. Okay, let's now go to the next day open. So you can see that we're still in the range of that order block, which means that low of the order block might be prone to the market makers or the IPTA. Like these lows right here will be prone to really good, would be like a really good liquidity level. Let's see how this day reacts. So it's currently Friday. Generate colors, take them out. And as London opens, it takes out the Asian highs by a few pips. And so you take it out. So you take out the Asian highs. So it's did a swing near. London is somehow not showing any trend so far. Ooh, nice drop, nice drop. Good shift here. We shift structure inside there. How is the 15 looking like? Okay, let's go now use the 1 minute and see. So we get a full retracement into the gap and doesn't get respected, which means when I go on the 30 minute now, you can see that we have a really good, is it called a hammer shooting? I really don't know the names, but you can see that we're respecting this order block kind of thing right here. And going to the 1 hour, you can see how this order block is being respected. We drop into it, then you can expect to push higher after it and target the next level of buys of liquidity, which would probably be that one resting here. Sorry, which will probably be this one, and so on. Okay, so let's see what happens. Let's go back to the 5 minute. Okay, but we can see we took out a low from London. This is looking nice a bit. Took out the London low. Sorry, this. Okay, and now it looks like we're having a shift in structure right here. Let's see if we get a retracement to like this fair value gap or this inversion. Most likely the inversion, because the inversion lies in discount. So we get a small retracement into the inversion. I mean into this fair value gap. Ooh, nice, nice. Does it reject? Okay, this is nice. You can see we drop into the gap fully now, which means at least now I can enter. And based off of the 15-minute, you can see that this will be a valid entry. We sweep, shift here, and it looks like some kind like turtle soup. Like we have this, the turtle soup entry is something like this. Take out the low, so it's looking something like this. We accumulate, take out the lows, take out the highs, retrace, and then push, which is literally happening in there. That's why I would like to take the buy. I buy resting there, suppose below this first candle of the gap, and my target would be this level, this high right there, giving me a 2.6. And you can also hold some remainders to target this. It's the previous day high. Sorry, it's like the previous day New York high. This will be our entry. So this is the market shift. MSS good, and on the 15-minute it's clearer. This is the F pitching. Take this entry, lose 2%. Mhm, mm, 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 mm. Okay, so I go to the use to 5. Let's see how it reacts. So we push up right away, and we hit take profit by this news. What news was this? Oh God, we traded on NFP. But yeah, this is just proof that now this is now proof that the technicals follow the fundamentals. You can see like this extreme push to the upside candle respect to the analysis. We didn't know it was NFP, but yeah, this is proof that technicals go with fundamentals. Really good up close candle, really good take profit. And so far, let's see how this session looks like. 75% win rate, but it's because we took a few trades. So let's continue, seeing if we can get some plays on the day. All right, going on the 5-minute. Let's see how the day moves on. After after hitting take profit, you can see it also continues to take out this high, the one that you would hold for. See, even though you would have been stopped out, because obviously when you take partials, you move your stop loss break even, and you can see that we hit it. So that we would see here is actually we might even reach to the previous day high. Wow, wow. This is nice. Go to the next day open, which is right here. Okay, we'll be back after this short break, do the analysis for this day, and then see if we find a trade. If not, we look just for the next day. We'll come back right after this short break. My test, we are back to the break, and let's do, some few minutes of backtesting as well, and some raw talk. It's yeah, I found really it gets me relieved. So, well, first off, backtesting doesn't look easy. Today I found my old journal, and I saw like the first stuff that I learned in trading. It's really funny. It was in 2024. You can see this liquidity and volatility and liquidity and stuff. And it's really really funny. Changing what charting software and whatever. Anyways, uh, I saw it and it gave me some. Should I call it nostalgia? Like from the time where I didn't know anything about trading because what was I doing with my life? Anyways, London session has just started, so let's first go to the daily time frame and see what we can analyze from the daily. So far, you can see that the buy side that was resting here was taken out. We failed to break above this high, which means that we might still have a bullish bias, and a bearish bias, and by having a bearish bias, which means we might continue to drop and so on, which doesn't remove the fact that we can also react on this down close candle as another block and then continue to push to the upside. What I basically want to see today, after this sweep right here, maybe we would rebalance this whole price move, but I don't think we can. From this low to this high, you can see that equilibrium will be on this low as well, on this kind of order block that we had marked earlier. But this order block, the reason I still don't want it is, we've already did much with it, but it will depend on how the market react. Considering this huge price move caused by NFP and all that, you can see from this low to this high, we have we could drop, reach into equilibrium, and then reach into OTE here, and then start pushing higher accordingly. So today is Monday, and when I would like to go to the so we're in the 4 hour. Now I got like to go to 1 hour. You can see so far that we took out the highs right there, and I think Asia is in this range. So maybe New York will take out the highs, give us a liquidity grab before we shift and go to the downside. So now go to the 15-minute time frame. You can see the Asia range there. Nothing new. So far, nothing new. And what we would see here is that we've already took out a low already. Oh, New York is really, really creating some crazy manipulations there. I don't think you could find any trade inside there. Okay, so New York's over. And so far, we can see that the market's dropping consecutively, like touching order blocks, dropping, touching order blocks, and dropping. And we can see that on the 30-minute, we have this good order block that we're in, which means to rebalance this move, going back to the 4 hour, I would like to show you something here. To rebalance this whole price move from this recent low to the high, we'll have to reach this zone right here. Good. And remove that. We to rebalance, we would like to drop inside here. That means that's when we would have reached into discount. Now when you go to the 1 hour, you can see that rebalancing is possible, even though these weeks are not promising it. So if we see a sign to enter, then we enter. If not, then sit on our hands. So we're in a 30-minute order block. This one, good. And well, when we go, how is it? The 15-minute is showing something like this. Ooh, very crazy sweep, very crazy sweep. And now on the 5-minute, we can see that market pushes higher and takes out this high. Wait, they're equal highs, not hasn't took it out yet. Okay, now that will be a takeout. Okay, I think New York has already started, and by the looks of it, New York is expanding to the upside. As you know, accumulation manipulation, then the distribution will be to the upside. So drawn liquidity would shift to be this previous daily high, and for that to happen, then that would require us a retracement into like some kind of fair value gap, by which in the 30-minute will be in here, and the 15-minute will be in here, and coincides with a good breaker. And boom, we tap into it, no delay. Wow. So which means to have buys. So first off, you can see that we have this breaker, we have this fair value gap, and I think we've already reached the midpoint of the fair value gap as well. From here to here, you can see that the fair value gap has been respected, and see we even drop even further. So we're a bit late to the entry, but I think we can have a long, target the previous day high as our drawn liquidity. It's currently 9:30, which means the market is still moving, and my stop loss will be just right, below the gap, a few pips below the gap. And I would like to extend to have a full 1 to 2, something like this. So we were a bit late to the entry, so wouldn't like to risk that much. But this entry is an A plus setup. The only thing that we didn't get is a sweep, so I think I would risk 1% here. Okay. We're taking trades consecutively. I don't know, that's not promising. Whoa, we were about to get stopped out. Do you see this? Okay, market's choppy now. Yeah, we end up getting stopped out. Market was really becoming choppy. You can see how it's behaving. But we still have our drawn liquidity, our eyes focused on the previous day high. I think it will get taken out. And boom, take it out. So lesson from here, maybe a stop loss will be like at the first candle of the gap somewhere here. Yeah, might be possible. Good. Yeah, that's a good lesson. So next day open now. So on the next day open, you see that the previous daily high is here. Wait, previous daily high, we just took it out by just opening the next day. And as usual, when the day opens, I start with the daily. But when the week starts, I start with the weekly. Anyways, we take out this high, this really nice high there. We didn't rebalance this price move. So we would like to see an expansion on this day, still Tuesday. And as the week started, you can see that, we dropped. Now we can expect an expansion to continue to the upside as the PO3 take out buy side, reach somewhere here, and then close somewhere here, and then maybe the next week after this one will be the one to take out this buy side liquidity. Now if we go to the daily time frame, the daily time frame, you can see we have a small liquidity void here which we filled immediately after opening. So what I would like to see now is either we react off of this sweep and drop to rebalance, or if we don't rebalance, then we continue to push to the upside, continue the push to the see there. Ooh. Now look the 4 hour. So 4 hour is nothing bigger than the daily. Other than showing us that we took out this buy side, I think I would like to remove this lipstick here. I have way too much lipstick. Now we go to 1 hour. Have this orb or block. Ooh, thought so. Anyways, I would like to go to the 15 or 5 minute. So Asian range. I'll use the 5. Oi, 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 oi. Ooh. Now we take out the lows as London opened. Okay, and London has closed. But what do we notice as London closes? We can notice that a bit. Let's go to the 1 hour again. We have this fair value gap from the 1 hour. Sorry. Of this good fair value gap from the 1 hour. I got the 15 minute. I would see this good sweep of liquidity, and maybe if we get a shift, then that's when we would start to look for entries and target the next buy side, and boom. Yeah, that is it. That is it. Do we get a gap? No, just yet. How is the 5 minute looking like? We have the shift there. We get a retracement, quite a small one. Nope, not just yet. Maybe we would like to get a retracement inside of here. Yeah, maybe right there. So let's see if we get one. Bum, pararam, oh no, we missed the trade. Oh no, we get another there. And you can see the 30 minute provided a fair value gap here. We traced back to it, which means, yeah, we can also consider the high. Ooh, this is some kind of news, I don't know. At 9:30 we drop, extreme drop, and I'd like to go to the 1 hour to see how the buy side is looking like on the other side of the sea. We still have buy side resting there, which means there's still hope to push higher. So going back to the 15 minute, oi, a really crazy move. You can see that we push into this crazy fair value gap right here, and this breaker. So let's see if it gets respected. Mm, 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 and considering that on the 1 hour, this is a BOS, this is an order block. I'm getting all the things telling me to enter, man. Oh god, this is a bit too big. Okay, I would like to go to the 15 minute. So first off, we have the buy side resting up there, and second of all, I'd like to extend this candle a bit to the down, this stop loss a bit to the downside. I would like to put it below this first candle, but it will depend on how the 5 minute looks like, because currently the 5 minute is showing me that, we have another fair value gap right here, but you can see we tapped into it, and I think this will be it. So I'll take this entry like this, and I think I'll risk 2%. This is a high probability, man. We have the shift, we have the sweep, we have the sweep, we have the shift in structure. So it's marking it. It's how should I say? All the points on the checklist are marked for this trade. Okay, hate the way we're finding trades every day. Oi, oi, stop loss. Huh, mystery, stop loss. Yeah, bankroll, another loss. Ooh, yet another losing day. And yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. So far, how does the analytics look like? I have a 50% win rate. We won three, we lost three. Yeah, good. Anyways, so till we meet again, stay blessed. Peace.